Welcome to the Gambit Zone. I'm your host Captain Gambit, and in today's video I've reviewed some Sova fundamentals I learned through gameplay and why Sova lineups are just overrated. But before we get started, let's get to the question of the day. What would you like added to the next act of Valorant? I would love to see the addition of a new map into the current rotation because I'm sure we're all tired of playing Split 4 times in a row. It would add a nice variety into its current lineup. So sit back, relax, grab your favorite snack, and let's get in the zone. Let's talk about why you would pick Sova, aka Legolas, BKA Mr. You Can't Hide, and how you should play him. He's characterized as an initiator, which challenges angles by setting up their team to enter contested ground and push defenders away. Sova's least favorable playstyle is as a lurker because his primary function is to gain information on enemy whereabouts. Information gaining is a crucial element in Valorant, and the quicker you execute on information gain, the more advantageous position you can have. With that being said, his most favorable playstyle is a support role. He must be close enough to the action to use his abilities, which set up his teammates perfectly, with the ability to clear corners with his drone and recon dart and push enemies away with shock darts, for example. Now let's get to the real reason why you're here for some tips on abilities. Now I'm going to be real, when I first started using the Sova's ultimate ability, I couldn't consistently eliminate an enemy even if they stood in front of me with their knife out. I found it very hard to track and even deal damage, so what I've learned is there are generally 3 opportunities to use his ult to increase your chances of dealing damage or eliminating opponents. The first tip, and probably the most common, is tagging your enemy with the drone and immediately utilizing the ult. This is by far the most effective way to use your ult because of the duration of the effect. I almost exclusively wait and try to find a tag first, and if I don't have that opportunity, the recon bolt is the next best choice. Now the recon bolt is far more useful when comboing your ult at long distances because of the small mouse movement you have to make while tracking your opponent after revealing them. Lastly, the only way you can use your ult without droning or using a recon bolt would be a combination between utilizing your minimap, team comms, and have developed a decent game sense by just playing the game. For example, in this clip, I knew that Sova plays C for the past couple rounds. First, he destroyed my recon bolt, which confirmed someone was on site. Then I see a drone come from the right side of the box. Following this, he ults, so I know he's stationary. Although it was risky to use this ult without tagging, I figured the worst I could get is 80 HP off because of the small space he was generally in. In this next example, my teammates are communicating that there's a lot of utility being used to push into B tower. This is a situation opportunity and I could have missed, but I was able to increase my odds by timing its execution with team comms and lining up my ult with the minimap. So in conclusion, 60% of the time, it works every time. Let's talk about Sova's recon bolt and why Sova lineups are a bit overrated. And this is not to discredit all the Sova main gurus spending countless hours in customs figuring out the next best lineup, as some of them do serve a useful purpose. However, you don't need a master's in geometry to learn or use Sova. Reason being is because each round has its own unique situation, and you should be able to learn how to play on the fly. The easiest way to do this is fundamentally make sure to aim arrows all high to cover more distance to get the best use of this ability. Remember, recon bolts are best to reveal enemies behind walls, so defensive positions in Ascent or Bind, for example, have great positions for Sova to hold. An even more effective way to do it would be with a teammate. If you made it this far to this video, thanks for watching. I hope it helped you in some way, maybe it was a good reminder or you learned something new. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments who you would like to see next.